shit, we back again. What's up, what's happening? Come to the party and bring a friend. Fuck it, I'm bringing 10. Ooh, trying to chat a 10. Big boy trying to chat a 10. She said I was catchy. I said, yo, tap him in. Touchdown. Double cup, wow, I stuck smile when I puff loud. I touch clouds, catching touchdowns in my mind now, cause I'm zoned out. On a porch couch in the iCloud. 2 coughs and I'm back now. 2 coughs and I'm packed out. Somebody give me a drink before I gotta sit down. I'm making hits now with a smooth style.
What's up, everybody? It is me, Dr. Preston Rowe, here with a very special guest here at the Trash Talk Tailgate. We've got our very own marine biologist and dolphin expert, Shamar. Welcome to the show, Shamar. Really glad to have you today.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Yep. So what we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're going to focus mainly on the NFL instead of college, but we are going to talk briefly about some of the bigger college games that did happen. Riley is still not here, but it's all good because we've got you, Shamar. Very, very, very very much appreciate you. So thank you.
It's always good to go touch some ball.
Yeah, man. Of course. We love talking ball here. If you want to join the TTT, reach out to us. Let us know. We're always open to new people coming on. All right. So Shamar, first of all, I do want to talk briefly about college football. So first of all, we've got to talk. Texas A&M goes into Death Valley, and they were up 31 points in the fourth quarter. And this Texas A&M team, like if you don't believe it by now, I don't know what you're watching. They are one of the 3 best teams in the country. Hey, it's either them, Ohio State, or Indiana, and it's not particularly close. Look, Texas A&M, this game was crazy. This game should have been worse, to be completely honest with you. They were down at halftime. They were down 18-14 at the half. And then they just went on a fucking insane run in the second half. They held LSU to 7 points. And this game should have been worse because Texas A&M, they kept on beating themselves. Marcel Reed had 2 interceptions. They had a blocked punt for a safety. LSU had a blocked punt for a safety. They kept beating themselves, man. And but then they started to get things rolling really in the second half. We've seen this Texas A&M team before where they have some kind of adversity and they kind of fold. And appreciate you, big dog. Yeah, no, that shit was crazy. But this A&M team, they look different. They are very much deserving of being the number 3 ranked team in the country. And you could argue they could be number 2. I know Indiana's number 2 right now. Indiana, they also looked really good yesterday. But this Texas A&M team, man, they just look different. They've got one of the best pass rushers in the entire country in Cassius Howell. Cassius Howell was wrecking LSU shit. LSU could not protect Garrett Nussmeier. Cassius Howell, he now has 10 sacks on the year. He had 2 sacks last night. Like he's an absolute stud. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. LSU, they can't run the ball. They can't protect Garrett Nussmeier. Shamar, you know how much we love Bubs here, the big, ugly bastards up front. If you can't protect your quarterback and if you can't open running lanes, your offense is going to struggle.
Yeah, but see, it's not going anywhere at all.
Nope.
But see, that's just a very long day for everyone in the backfield.
I mean, look, man, this is crazy. LSU, they were 2 of 13 on third down. They had 0 turnovers. A&M turned the ball over twice. They had more penalties for more yards. But look at the rushing stats. 224 to 60. And they almost doubled them in total yards too. And they just A&M just fucking ran through them in the second half. That shit was ridiculous. And look, I don't know. I don't care who you are. This Texas A&M team is legit. They're going to be in Atlanta for the SEC championship game. Like I think you can kind of set that in stone because now they have to go at Missouri. They're home for South Carolina, obviously home for Samford. Then they go on the road to Texas, who just had to survive going on the road to Mississippi State. And
I don't believe in Texas that much.
No. I don't believe in Texas either. I have been a proponent of not buying into Texas since the offseason. So I still stand by that. Alabama, they just had a brutal 4-game gauntlet. And I think if you were being honest with yourself, you probably thought that this might be a letdown game going on the road to South Carolina. And look, man, Alabama, they had to survive this game. But Shamar, in case you didn't know this, Alabama, they were the first SEC team in history to play 4 straight ranked opponents, like back to back to back to back without a bye. And and so they just came out of that gauntlet, and then they had to go on the road to South Carolina. So you know what? They just didn't seem to have a whole lot of juice, and that's completely understandable. But they got the win. And really, the one thing I'll say about this Alabama team is they still can't run the ball. Ty Simpson, their quarterback, is playing unbelievable. We've been saying that all year. But they can't run the ball. Like, Shamar, look at this. 23 carries for 72 yards. Is that the Alabama team that we've come to know?
Not at all.
Not at all, man. And your wide receiver.
We have the history. Like, you have a history of, like, Derrick Henry being there, Mark Ingram being there. Like, really question, like, what's going on? Especially, like, at practice, like, what they're seeing, like, the schemes they're trying to draw up. Like, what's actually happening for there to be such a steep decline in their running game?
I just don't think they have the horses, man. Like, I think Jam Miller is a fine running back. I don't think he's anything special. And I think their offensive line is more geared toward pass pro. And because that's what Kalen DeBoer wants to do. He wants to throw the ball with Ty Simpson. That's what he did at Washington with Michael Penix and all those receivers. And he wants to throw the ball. But I mean, look, man, you've got a wide receiver in Jeremy Bernard, who's your second leading rusher. That's not going to do it. You know, that is the one concern I have. And then South Carolina, they fall to 3-5. I mean, when Lenoris Sellers is your leading rusher, I get it. He's a great athlete, but that's probably not going to win you many games in the SEC. Yeah. Especially a great defense like Alabama, they're going to be able to take him away, and they're going to be able to scheme him out of a game. And they forced Sellers to beat them. And he had the one touchdown. He also had an interception. It just wasn't great. But, I mean, you have to give South Carolina credit. They played well. They were 6 of 17 on third down. Bama was 8 of 16. They controlled the time of possession with 32 minutes. They actually outgained Alabama in rushing. So, but it's, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a rough day.
Yeah, but I mean, look, man, Alabama, you survive and you advance. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Georgia Tech is 8-0. Shout out to Big Dog. They're going to run the ball. That's all they're going to do is they're just going to run the ball right down your throat. And they might run the ball right to the college football playoff. That is fucking crazy.
I'm not going to lie. I did not have that on my bingo card at all. For like Georgia Tech being in the playoffs, I never really guessed it at all.
Look, man, they have a real shot to finish the year undefeated because they really obviously played Georgia. But look, man, they took Georgia to 7 overtimes last year.
Exactly.
And you know, and that was obviously a heartbreaker for Brent Key. and the Yellow Jackets. I love Brent Key. We are a Brent Key show here at the Trash Talk Tailgate. He understands and values the importance of Bubs. Yeah, so Georgia Tech, man, 8-0. Shout out to Big Dog, like I said. This game was – I picked Oklahoma to win this game. Ole Miss going on the road to Norman. They get the win over Oklahoma. Look, man, John Mateer, he didn't play that great. Trinidad Chambliss, I think you could argue, outplayed John Mateer, which is something I did not have. This Oklahoma defense, their defense is legit. They are one of the best defenses in the country. And I thought they would be able to kind of make Chambliss's life hell a little bit, like they did in the second half, or like Georgia did in the second half last week. I thought, Brent Venables would see what they did on film and would try to do some of the same stuff. But look, man, Chambliss, he was ready. He had a really great game. Yeah, this was Oklahoma 4 of 14 on third down. Like their defense is legit and elite, but their offense is nothing special. And I think you see that. It's tough, man. I mean, this was probably a college football playoff play-out game. The loser, I think, was probably going to be done. Obviously some stuff can still happen, but Oklahoma, they need a lot of help at this point. And Ole Miss, their one loss is a heartbreaker to Georgia that I honestly think they probably should have won. They were up 2 scores late in the game over Georgia on the road, and they blew it. But they are very much alive, man. And Lane Kiffin, a lot of people think he's going to go to Florida. I don't know. We will see. But I mean, it's just like he said, whenever you're being mentioned for all those great jobs like that, it means that your team is playing really, really good football. So he takes it as a compliment, which I think he should.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. There is one more game that we do have to get to very briefly. And again, I know we typically spend a lot more time on college, but because Shamar's here, he is our Dolphin expert. He's our NFL guy. We're going to focus mainly on the NFL today. Vanderbilt, top 10 Vanderbilt, was able to survive a defensive slugfest with the number 15 Missouri Tigers. You have to give Missouri a lot of credit. Their defensive front is the strength of their team, and they showed that yesterday. They were able to hold Vanderbilt to they were kind of sustain that or shut down that run game for the most part. Obviously, they gave up the long 80-yard touchdown run to Young. It wasn't even Alexander, their best running back, but it was Young that was able to break out and get that huge touchdown for them. So that was really cool. And look, man, obviously Missouri's quarterback Bo Pribula goes down. That sequence of events really hurt them because it's Missouri, they're trying to score. It's 4th and goal, and they go for it to try to score a touchdown. And Vanderbilt, they're able to get the goal line stand, but then also Bo Pribula, their quarterback, gets rolled up on, and he's out for the game. So that just added insult to injury at that point. Just look, man, this Vandy team, they are very much alive for the SEC title race. Their one loss is to Alabama.
Yeah, something I never thought I'd ever say or ever hear.
Absolutely
honestly.
not, man. No. And then this game had a wild ending. Missouri, I don't know if you saw it, Shamar, but so Missouri, they had one last chance to throw a Hail Mary. And their receiver, Kevin Coleman, actually caught the ball. The problem was he was diving out of the end zone. And when he caught the ball, he was down about probably 5 inches short of the goal line.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. That's
Yeah.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
I get it. Big Dog wants to talk about the NFL, so we are going to talk about the NFL. But yeah, you're right, man. It was heartbreaking. Matt Zollers, shout out to Matt Zollers. He was a true freshman coming in for the injured Bo Pribula, and he actually played pretty well. It just look, man. These are two good teams. I think Missouri's still a really good team, and Vandy, they just keep finding ways to win. They just keep finding ways to win, man. They're very efficient. They're able to run the ball, and they just find ways to win. They were able to get the stops that they needed to get when it absolutely mattered. So yeah, shout out to Vandy and Diego Pavia.
I say a win is a win. What more can you say?
Win is a win, man. And they are very much alive for the college football playoff as well. All right, Shamar, you are our Dolphin expert. The Dolphins play the Falcons today. What's going on with the Dolphins, Shamar?
Well, right now I'm in Virginia, and the weather's starting to get cold, so that's one reason why. September passed, October is about to pass, so you already know the cold weather's coming, and the Dolphins cannot play in the cold at all, and it seems like now that they can't play at all. Even when they did have all their players, it still looked really rough. Or it didn't even look. It just was. It was really bad. Like, I mean, you're just looking at Tua right now, 11-10.
Like, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
10 interceptions. Like, what's going on there? Like, and there's so much talent on paper for the Dolphins, especially offensively, that nobody would really even see this coming. Like, I mean, even with Tyreek Hill being out for the season, we've seen in years past when he's been out, Jalen Waddle stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
But even he only had 30 receptions and 3 touchdowns currently going into week 8. And it just looks really bad for the Dolphins. I think you'll probably agree that with the little high streak that they were on offensively for the past couple of years, all that has pretty much died off almost completely now. And I think that either this year, if not next year, the Dolphins are going to be in complete rebuild mode again for like the 5th time in 20 years. And let's see if they can actually make and win a playoff game this century. But
I mean, look, man, obviously a huge part of their issues, it's not just Tua. They can't really protect Tua, even though Tua gets the ball out relatively quickly. They can't protect him. They don't value the lines of scrimmage like they should. But then it's just Tua. Tua turns the ball over, man. Like 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's not going to get it done. And Shamar, what do you always say about the Dolphins in September?
Oh, if the Super Bowl was played in September or in any warm month, they'll probably win every year.
This is very true. It is very true. Yeah. It's just the Dolphins, man, like they're not a good team. I think Mike McDaniel, he's a one-trick pony. He doesn't adjust, and you see it. They're a finesse team. They don't try to establish the line of scrimmage consistently. They don't value that. They value getting their athletes and their playmakers in space. Which, do you know what makes the Detroit Lions so dangerous, Shamar, and so consistently good?
What's that?
They do both. They establish the line of scrimmage. They run the ball with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, but then they also get their great athletes in space.
Yeah. And then also, like, the Dolphins' defense just really isn't there to me. Also,
no.
It's like they try to do, like, they really just set up just to go into shootouts, but then their playmakers to even do shootouts aren't even showing up week in and week out. So it's their one ace in the hole isn't even there. So this it's crazy. Like, beforehand, I always used to say the Dolphins can only play half a season and maybe half a game, and now the whole season to me that's already over.
Yeah, I mean, and their leading sacker with 4 is Bradley Chubb. He's a linebacker. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just this offense. They're not a well constructed team. They're not a very well run team. I mean, look, man, we talked about it briefly on the TTT. They had a joint practice session with the Lions, and the Lions players were coming out of that talking shit. Like, I don't even think it was talking shit. I just think they were talking honestly. Like, look, that they don't have the right practice habits. Like, the way we practice gets us prepared for the NFL season under Dan Campbell. And they kept talking about how the Dolphins didn't have that, how they were soft, how they didn't take practice very seriously. And I think you saw it, like, in the videos and the clips that we saw from those practice sessions. The Lions were fucking them up. I just think that's yeah.
Yeah, they just need a complete rebuild mode. Between Tua's contract and Tyreek Hill's contract, we'll see what happens, but they just need a complete rebuild. Too early prediction. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Bill Belichick goes to the Dolphins.
Oh, you think he? I mean, he just
that go give revenge against the Patriots and then go beat Shula's record as the Dolphin.
That wouldn't be. I mean, look, man.
You heard it here first. I'm just saying.
There are definitely worse decisions that the Dolphins could make. From going out and hiring Bill Belichick. But yeah, so that was Shamar with our Dolphins update. It is time once again to do one of our favorite segments. Where is it? Here we go. Oh, here we go. What is wrong with the Jets today? It is a question that we have to ask ourselves every single day because there's always something wrong with the Jets. The Jets are still the only winless team in the NFL, and they play the red-hot Cincinnati Bengals, who are now 3-4 with new quarterback Joe Flacco, who has given that team some new life. Shout out to Big Dog. Oh my God, fucking Big Dog, man. We very much appreciate you. Look, man, the Bengals, people are saying it, man. The Bengals could make a real run here. Look at their schedule the next few games. So they've got home versus the Jets today, and they're home for the Bears. I personally do not believe in the Bears. They're 4-2 despite Caleb Williams playing like absolute dog shit. I wonder who could have seen that coming, Shamar.
I think I know someone that mentioned that a couple of times.
Yeah. And then they're at the Steelers, who they just beat. They just beat the Steelers. So, worst case scenario, you're probably looking at 2-1, maybe even 3-0. And then they've got the Patriots. The Patriots look legit. I don't know if the Bengals can get that one. But look, all Joe Flacco needs to do is just right the ship and just steady it and just get them within striking distance of the playoffs. Because Joe Burrow is going to want to come back and try to make a real run at this thing. And look, dog, the Ravens are dog shit. They have one win the whole year. And the Browns are still the Browns. This division is wide open, and right now it really looks like it's going to come down to the Steelers and the Bengals. You've got a great shot at this thing. So
they really do. I would say my only question is, do you actually trust the Steelers or the Bengals more going forward? Like Lamar, he's not playing again this week. And I think without Lamar, the Ravens have absolutely no shot. No. The Browns had no shot when they when the season first started. So I think it really is. I said between the Bengals and the Steelers. And no, I hate to say it, the Steelers do look decent this year, like good and decent. So it's like, do we think that Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers aren't going to fall off to a certain degree?
I don't know, man. I mean, the Steelers, obviously they just lost that game to the Bengals. I was shocked by how good the Steelers have been. I don't think the crazy thing is their defense hasn't played that well this year. It's really been their offense and Aaron Rodgers that has carried them. They've been able to run the ball more consistently with Jaylen Warren and with Caleb Johnson. But Aaron Rodgers has been able to find, DK Metcalf. He's playing really well. He's looking more and more like vintage Aaron Rodgers than he was, on the Jets. So it's Mike Tomlin, man. Which coaching staff do I trust more? I trust Mike Tomlin over Zach Taylor and the Bengals. I mean, look, man, Doug,
for sure.
Do you want to know? Do you honestly want to know how I feel about Zach Taylor and the Bengals?
He should have been fired a couple years ago.
Well, yes, that is true. But this sums up how I feel about Zach Taylor in a nutshell. When Joe Burrow got hurt in week 2, he was asked, what could you have done to prevent this injury from happening again? Because Joe Burrow dog, when he's healthy, he's a great player. I think everyone who watches the show knows how I feel about him. But the problem is he is injury prone at this point. So when you have an injury prone but great player, you need to do everything you can to protect that great player. He was asked after the game, they won that game, but he was asked, what could you have done better to protect Joe Burrow? And he said nothing. He said we did everything we could to protect him. He said it wasn't our fault. It's Joe Burrow's fault he got hurt. Go fuck yourself. That is the kind of brain power that the Bengals have, in their coaching staff. I'm sorry. And look, man, I'm telling you, I think I've said this on the show. Let me be the Bengals head scouting, head of scouting. You know what I would do my first day in there? I would go to all of our scouts and I'd be like, hey, what's our priority? And if any one of them said anything except we need to protect our franchise quarterback and we need to upgrade our offensive line, if they're like, oh, we need to get better at the run game, we need to fix our defense. No, we need to do those things, but that's not the main priority right now. If they say anything other than protect Joe Burrow, I'm telling them to get the fuck out and that you're fired. Because you shouldn't be in fucking football if you don't understand the importance of protecting your franchise, but injury-prone quarterback.
Fair enough.
No. And it's just the fact that Zach Taylor blamed Joe Burrow and took no responsibility when he's the one that consistently trots out a dog shit offensive line to quote unquote protect Joe Burrow. That's malpractice. It's malpractice.
And then also the second that, not only that, but then afterwards, they never went out and got a better backup quarterback after Jake Browning's first stint at being it. And it's that should be malpractice in itself. You knew what Jake Browning was his first season playing. And you knew that y'all needed a better backup quarterback. And y'all still never did for years until now. And then you got Joe Flacco, who's playing really well, but still, why do you have to wait for Jake Browning to go throw 20,000 interceptions and be like, oh, wait, we might need another quarterback here?
Well, look, man, you know what's crazy? Jake Browning, when he became the starter after Burrow's injury, he wasn't throwing the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You've invested all this money in wide receiver, two of the best wide receivers in football. He just wasn't throwing them the ball. Then they go out. Oh, what's up, Daniel? We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. But Jake Browning, he refused to throw their two best receivers the ball. They go out. They finally get Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's like, holy shit, this is fucking easy. I'm just going to throw them the ball.
Like, I really think they have a real shot at winning the division and making the playoffs. Yeah. Joe Flacco, they go out, throw the ball to the two, like probably like one of the best, if not the best, tandem wide receiver duos in the league. Yeah. Like they throw it to him and then just don't turn the ball over.
Yeah,
you're gonna probably make it.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, because their defense is still not great, but they're playing better. They're getting turnovers, which is something they weren't doing last year. Fair. You know, look, man, if their defense had played this way last year, they would have made the playoffs. And I would argue Burrow should have been MVP. You know, so yeah. That's so that is what we didn't really talk about the Jets, but they just, you know, they're gonna start Tyrod Taylor, even though he's probably, you know, they're saying he might be hurt. Justin Fields hasn't played that well. Just look, man, the Jets, they're 0-7. Like we keep saying, I like Aaron Gunn a lot. They need to learn how to win. The Lions had to do the same thing under Dan Campbell. They kept on losing heartbreakers. They just needed to learn how to win. You know, and that's something the Jets are going to have to do. Look, dog, the Browns and the Patriots, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this game. It's just Did you see what the Browns owner Jimmy Haslam said this week? Oh, well, Shamar, I don't know if you know this, but a few years ago, he made a very controversial decision to trade Baker to kick Baker Mayfield out the back door, very unceremoniously, and bring in a serial sexual assaultist. Is that a word?
I think people get the gist.
Yeah, and he guaranteed him a $230 million contract, fully guaranteed. And everyone at the time was like, that's a terrible decision. Because remember, Deshaun Watson hadn't even played football for a whole year because he wanted out with the Texans, and he held out that whole year. And so, you know, very rusty. And now with all of the terrible PR baggage that came with that. And it was all Jimmy Haslam. It was his decision. He had the final say on that. And he came out and made a statement talking about the Browns today. He's like, yeah, you know, we have a really good team. We just haven't gotten the quarterback right. And someone made a terrible decision when it came to the quarterback. It's like, damn, I wonder who did that.
Quarterback to go help win y'all first playoff game in so long. Got pushed out the back door.
But Shamar, you have to understand, they wanted an adult at quarterback. They wanted it. That was a real quote when they told Baker to get fucked and to kick rocks. They said, we want an adult at quarterback. So they go out and get Deshaun Watson.
Well, you know, I think that kid is doing pretty well in Florida.
Yeah, man. Look, man, just yeah, man. You know what the Browns did, man? They let a white boy get a little motion. Have you seen those shirts? Have you seen that meme?
I have not.
Some people went to a Bucks game with a picture of Baker Mayfield, and the caption was, don't let a white boy get a little motion. Baker plays with so much swagger, man. I love Baker. But we are talking about the Patriots. The Patriots under Mike Vrabel, they just get better and better. And that's the sign of a really well-coached team. They get better and better every single week. And Drake May, he's playing like an MVP candidate. Like quietly, he's played really, really well. You know?
Yeah, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah. I mean, dog. Like they are playing really, really well. And they're 5-2. Obviously, they just got the Mike Vrabel revenge going into Tennessee and fucking up the Titans. I don't know what the Titans are doing. But
I think the Titans the organization was barely hanging on by a thread because of Mike Vrabel when he was there. Mm-hmm. And then when they first got rid of A.J. Brown, and then they got rid of Derrick Henry, and then they fired Mike Vrabel. It's like, so what is the identity of the Titans?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's sad, but like outside of losing, what is the identity of the Titans?
Shamar, if you want to know how good of a coach Mike Vrabel is, his quarterback was Ryan Tannehill. In a conference full of quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, in a conference full of those behemoths and monsters at quarterback, Mike Vrabel got Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans to the AFC 1 seed. That is one of the best coaching jobs I've ever seen.
And then wasn't he also maybe one quarter or maybe a handful of plays away from the Super Bowl?
Yes,
before
he was.
Joe Shiesty got there.
Yes, dog. They sacked Joe Burrow nine times in a playoff game, and they lost. So I mean that's just a credit to how good Joe Shiesty is. But look, man, the Titans they finally had a little bit of success under Mike Vrabel. They were winning consistently, and they're like, nah, fuck this. We'd rather be a dumpster fire. So let's just trade get rid of all of our best players for absolutely nothing. And then let's blame the coach for our decision making. And then let's get rid of the coach too. It was really cool.
That sounds like a good recipe for success.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, look, dog. I mean, I've got the Patriots winning this game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out! I'm glad Mike Vrabel came back and is doing this thing. Picked the way he left off, and just a culture of winning.
Yeah, man. Speaking of winning, the Eagles just continue to win, and the Giants just continue to lose games in just incomprehensible ways. They gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter last week to Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. I am not a Bo Nix fan, but they made Bo Nix look like a first ballot Hall of Famer. So it's just the fact that they have not fired their defensive coordinator is fucking malpractice. Like at the very least, you fire your defensive coordinator. It's just, I mean, because that is giving up 33 points is how you lose the locker room. By bad, terrible coaching decisions. But this is a revenge game because, as we all know, the Giants got the upset at home a few weeks ago versus the Philadelphia Eagles. But the Eagles, man, it's a revenge game. How do you see this game playing out, Shamar?
I think it'll be a head-to-head between Scatterboo and Barkley. Honestly, that's exactly how I see it playing out. Like Barkley, even though I know he had this revenge last year, going all the way, almost an MVP, almost breaking the record, Super Bowl champion. I still think he has a chip on his shoulder about the Giants still. So I think this can be a bounce back game for Barkley and Scatterboo. Man, he is looking to run somebody over.
He is, man.
Or they looking to get hit. Collision, I don't know. He looking for contact. That's all I know. Him
and Jackson Dart. They just, Riley said it best. They are the creatine Caucasians. They're just gonna go get fucking jacked up, and they want to run somebody over. That's what they want to do.
honestly. So I really think there can be like a bloodbath in the trenches mainly. I still think that Jalen Hurts and Dart are both going to throw the ball probably 20 times, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be at least 30 carries from each team rushing this game. Actually, I'm going to I'm going to say there'll be at least 35 plus carries for each team this game.
I agree, man. And shout out to Big Dog. He famously calls the Giants the caveman just because they want to run the shit out of the ball.
Honestly, like
And look, man, the Eagles, we've talked about it all year. Their offense has been very, very stagnant and been very inefficient just because they don't want to throw the ball to AJ Brown and to Devontae Smith. They and whenever they do throw the ball to them, it's not very creative. They're throwing like, curls and comebacks. They're not throwing slants. They're not throwing posts. They're not throwing glance routes on RPOs. Like, get AJ Brown the ball in space and just let him fucking run after the catch and try to tackle him. He's a fucking monster to try to tackle.
Yeah, I put this more like on the coaching staff for sure.
I agree.
Not being creative enough to go get in the ball. I mean, like Jalen Hurts, I forgot how many offensive coordinators he had since he's been in the league. But like, they also always find a way to like give other people the ball. I mean, even last year, like they were able to get AJ Brown the ball after a while, but like right now it just seems so stagnant. And then like the running game is not what it was last year. No. So even from a play action standpoint, you're not really selling anything that is really like each part of the game leans to each other. Like the passing game helps relieve the running game. The running game helps relieve the passing game. And if you have neither, you're not fooling anyone. You just do a basic package against them, and it's going to be a long day for the Eagles. But I do think that's going to probably be the game of the week, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of great games this week. I'm not going to lie. The Bills and the Panthers. The Bills going on the road. Look, man. The Panthers, they're 3-0 at home. The Panthers are just one of those teams that you're like, I can't fucking figure you out. This is the team that blanked the Falcons 30-0. Like, let's just go look at what the Panthers have done this year. They lose to the Cardinals. They get blown out by the Jaguars. They lose to the Patriots. That's understandable. Then they beat the Dolphins. They beat the Cowboys, and they beat the Jets, but they beat them 13-6. Like this, they beat the Falcons 30-0. I can't figure this team out, man. Bryce Young, he still hasn't played that well. Like, he's just been kind of meh. He's been fine, But I think they have kind of found an identity running the ball with Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. As you said, like they really. You think about like the Panthers as a whole, like where would you rank them on like you like rank the whole NFL as a team, like as a whole, where would they fall? Mm-hmm. And it's like they had some really good games and really bad games.
Yeah.
And you really can't get a read on them, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like interesting to watch. I have to they're winning more now, but I mean, any given week, I feel like they're going to get blown out or blow someone out. There's no in between. Like, there's no in between. It's like, okay, which Panthers team is showing up today? But I do think, as you said, like, just keep on giving it to your running backs.
Yeah.
Let them just run the air out the ball. Call it a day.
When in doubt, run the ball. And the Bills defense, they've been okay this year. They haven't been anything special. Shout out to Daniel. AJ Brown is inactive for today's game. That does kind of change things. I still got the Eagles winning because Devontae Smith has been on a heater. They've been getting the ball to Devontae Smith finally. And my fantasy team very much thanks them for that. So just look, but to your point, Shamar, like when in doubt, run the ball. You can never go wrong with running the ball and establishing the line of scrimmage. Like just run the ball. Just do it. And I think the Panthers, I think that they are trying to establish that as their identity. They've got two really good running backs, Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard. Like, it just they don't. I don't think they fully trust Bryce Young. Which is kind of sad because he was the first overall pick for them. But I don't know, man. I
wouldn't say they don't trust him. They really haven't put many pieces around him for him to be successful. So you can't even get a good read on what type of quarterback he even is.
It's just hard because Bryce is a precision thrower. He's a very accurate thrower. If you watched him in Alabama, he was very accurate. He would put the ball right where it needed to go. But he doesn't have the strongest arm. But the problem is their two leading wide receivers, Xavier Leggett and their rookie Tet McMillan, they're guys that don't run routes very well. They're not great route runners. They're more physical guys. Like, think more of like DK Metcalf. He's going to be covered, but he's just going to go up and make plays, Yeah. But if you've got a quarterback in Bryce Young that's a very accurate thrower, you need guys that are going to get separation, Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, because he's going to throw it to a spot and they're going to go run under it. So I don't trust the Panthers and their decision-making most of the time. I do like how they're running the ball. It's just, I don't think, just like I said, man, I can't really get a beat on this team. They're a hard team to really kind of pinpoint what exactly they are and what they want to be. But you can't go wrong with running the ball. So I still have the Bills winning this game.
Oh, yeah. Like, unless the Bills are still in their funk that they've been in, it's the Bills to lose.
Yep. The Bears, they're 4-2 despite Caleb Williams playing like dog shit. I get it. He only has 3 interceptions, but he's just, if you watch the Bears play, he is their wink link. Like they are 4-2 despite Caleb Williams. And obviously the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, it was reported he's been running scout team all week, which means he's probably not going to play. And the Ravens, their defense is atrocious. Their defense is awful. So I get it. It's at home, but still, like, they're going to be running Tyler Huntley out there. That's just – do you have anything to say on this game, Shamar? Just trying to run through them.
I feel like for this game, the only way I see the Ravens winning this game is get the ball to Henry 30 times. Like, give it to him 30-plus times. Chew out the clock, and you should be able to hold out against Caleb Williams. But
here's the thing, Shamar. We've said that. We've been saying that. Like, hey, your star quarterback is out, and he's going to be out for maybe a significant amount of time. Run the ball with Derrick Henry, and they don't fucking do it.
But it's not even that. We've been saying run the ball even with Lamar there.
Yes.
Like, stop trying to get into shootouts. You win when you run. It's nothing. It's nothing new. You win when you run the ball. Why would you go out to go get Derrick Henry when you don't use him?
It doesn't make sense.
The only way that this even remotely makes sense is you're trying to save Derrick Henry for the playoffs.
But then they don't use him in the playoffs.
Yeah, and even then it's non-existent. So it's like, so why do you get him?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, because me and Riley both said when Lamar got hurt, if you don't run the ball with Derrick Henry this game or these next few games, I am going to lose all faith in John Harbaugh. Like, because dog, you're playing your backup quarterback and you've got Derrick Henry, who is a monster that defenses can't stop even when they load the box. So why wouldn't you run the ball? It doesn't make sense to me. And Big Dog, to your question, that is a good question. Because we are not fans of the Bears here on the TTT. It's just the Ravens. The Ravens are 1-5, man. And their defense is awful. Lamar Jackson is out yet again. He's been hurt for the past few games. And the Bears, despite Caleb Williams, they are still 4-2. And because you know why the Bears are 4-2? They run the ball. They run the ball. It's crazy how that works. It's crazy what happens when you run the ball. Yeah. I tend to agree, Daniel. I've always been a John Harbaugh guy, but these last few weeks have really kind of turned me off of him. Because like you said, Shamar, what is the point of getting Derrick Henry if you're not going to use him in games like this?
Like, it makes no sense. Just turn around, hand the ball off, go. And then you see how he runs when he does get the ball. And then be like, oh, no, I'm good. Yep. Like, no.
Now we've got another very quick game. The 49ers at the Texans. The 49ers are 5-2 despite their backup quarterback, Mac Jones, playing. And he's been playing really well.
He really has.
Yeah, he has, man. And you know what's crazy, Shamar? Do you know why? We talked about this last week. Do you know why the 49ers have all of a sudden been playing very well?
What's that?
Because Kyle Shanahan's like, look, he told Mac Jones, you're going to hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey. And when you have to throw the ball, you're going to throw the ball to Christian McCaffrey.
Huh. That makes sense.
It's crazy how that works, isn't it?
Give the ball to your best players. Huh. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Who would have imagined?
Nah, man. I mean, look, dog, he's their leading receiver. Look at that, man. He's got more receiving yards than rushing yards.
And the same amount of touchdowns. That's crazy.
That's literally what their game plan has been. You're going to hand the ball off to CMC, and then when we have to throw the ball, you're going to throw the ball to CMC. And they're just – the defense, they're going to know what we're doing, but fucking stop it. Try and fucking stop it because it's Christian McCaffrey. And then on the flip side, man, like the Texans, they traded their best offensive lineman in Laramie Tunsil this offseason. And they did nothing to address the offensive line, which was already bad. But then they made the decision to make it worse and not help it and not, do anything about it. So CJ Stroud, I get it. He's not having a great year, but they're not protecting him. The Texans literally said, hey, you know what business model we should follow? Let's follow the Bengals. Let's do what they've done.
We're not going to protect our franchise quarterback, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, and then we're going to blame him when he doesn't play that well. And you know what? CJ Stroud, despite the fact that, he's played relatively well considering his awful offensive line. They might be the worst offensive line in the league. And it's crazy because their defense is so good, man. They've got one of the best defenses in football. And, with D'Amico Ryans, their head coach, he's a defensive guy, former linebacker for them. Will Anderson Jr., who I love. I love Will Anderson Jr. They've got the Danielle Hunter, as bookend pass rushers. And, Derek Stingley, one of the best corners in football. They've got an elite level defense. It's just their offense continues to let them down. And it's really just the offensive line. So I do like the 49ers in this game. It's just, yeah. What do you think, Shamar?
It's crazy to think how much your O-line means a lot when you just look at the record. Like, oh, you can have so many good players everywhere, but you don't have the Bubs. It won't really matter that much.
It doesn't matter, man. You gotta protect your franchise quarterback. Because look, man, if you have the Bubs up front, and for those that don't know, Bubs is big, ugly bastards. It's the big fuckers up front that make everyone else's lives so much easier. Because if you've got the Bubs, you can run the ball. That takes pressure off your quarterback. You stay ahead of the chains. You're able to throw play actions because the defense has to respect the run game. Everything is so much easier offensively if you've got the offensive line and if you've got those fuckers up front. And then on the flip side, if you don't, your offense is going to be stagnant. It's going to be inefficient. You won't be able to run the ball. You're going to be in third and long situations, which puts so much more pressure on the quarterback to make those throws consistently to keep drives alive. It's not a good way to operate offensively. So you got to get the Bubs, man. You got to get those, man. You got to get the big dudes up front. And unfortunately, Shamar, most NFL teams still don't realize that. You know? Yeah. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Shamar, how you feel about Baker Mayfield?
MVP.
Absolutely.
MVP.
Absolutely.
It's literally like
balling.
Himself, to me. Baker just balling. He did have a rough game last week, but
it's the Lions.
It's the Lions. Also Mike Evans went out really early in that game.
Yeah, his career might be over, which would be so sad. You know,
I hope and pray he comes back. But it's hard to really go out with somebody who's that consistent, honestly. But the Bake Show, he just goes out and he balls. I mean, there's nothing else to really say. He just balls out.
Shamar, I know you've told me this. I know when they got, when they got rid of Geno, you were so upset that the Seahawks didn't make a move to go after Baker Mayfield.
Yes. when Baker first left, when he got kicked out of Cleveland, I wanted him. I had multiple people say, "Oh, you're crazy." I'm like, "No, I wanted him." He went to the Panthers. I want him. Went to the Rams. I want him. Went to the Bucs. Everybody said, "Oh, no, this is going to be the last time he's out the league."
Yep.
Everybody said, "Oh, I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. I'm a Baker Mayfield fan." I'm like, y'all literally wrote this man off when he first got kicked out of Cleveland. And now he's just balling out. And this goes to show when you have a competent organization around you, how much you can actually thrive. And then, I mean, I'm not going to say anything about the Rams because they had Matthew Stafford. But you look at the Panthers and then you also look at Cleveland. Let me ask people, when was the last time a quarterback actually succeeded in those places? Cam Newton. Cam Newton, who they didn't protect, where the refs didn't protect him either for getting hurt.
Yep. Yeah.
And then how many quarterbacks have the Browns had? I'm not gonna go that far back. In the past 5 years, 10 years, how many quarterbacks have they had?
Oh, dude,
it's insane.
It's more than we could count.
And it's wow. I think Baker.
He won them a playoff game.
Apparently, that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, man. They wanted an adult at quarterback, and he just look, man. I love Baker, man. He's feisty.
Have they even made the playoffs since they won that playoff game?
No, they haven't. Well, no, that's not true. Joe Flacco led them to the playoffs. Then they got smoked by the Texans and C.J. Stroud. But no, but they haven't won a playoff game since Baker. Baker's balling out, man. And on the flip side, I really like Spencer Rattler. He's played really well this year. I saw someone say that if Spencer Rattler was a first-round draft pick, we would be talking about him as a franchise quarterback. And he was a fifth-round pick, but I've always been very high on Spencer Rattler. Ever since he was at Oklahoma, he was the number one quarterback in his high school class for a reason. He's always had insane talent. It's just the Saints, they don't have a whole lot of talent around him. They've got Kamara, Chris Olave, he's staying healthy this year. That's good. But they don't have a good offensive line. Their defense isn't that great. They don't have a lot of talent around him. So yeah, man, give me the Bucks. Like the Superdome is a tough place to play, but give me the Bucks, man. They're gonna try to look to bounce back after that disappointing loss in Detroit.
Yeah, I feel like since the Saints, since Drew Brees retired from the Saints, they all been like hanging on by a thread. And they had like short spurts, but like between the injuries and hanging on, I feel like they just need to truly have a true rebuild for like 2 to 3 years to build back. Like I feel like they're just trying to keep on reaching, and it's like clearly your method isn't working. Your cap space has been trashed for years.
Yes,
your players, even though extremely talented, cannot stay off the IR and off the bench for years. Like something has to change. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's just not working for the Saints, and it hasn't been for a long time now.
All right, Shamar, we've got the Cowboys and the Broncos. How do you feel about this game?
Both these teams, to me, they have like really good like highlights and good shows. Like you want to believe in these teams, but also the way that they sometimes lose or have you like on the edge of your seat because you don't know what's about to happen. Like Denver having to come up from like a 30-plus point deficit in the fourth quarter
to the Giants.
It's like they show greatness, and it's like, oh man, they can compete with the best of them. And then the next week you're like, what are they doing? So in this game, it's like flip a coin. I mean, I'm half tempted to say this game is going to end in a tie, honestly.
I mean, I get it, man. Like this is definitely strength on strength because Dak Prescott, you could argue he's having the best season of his career. He's certainly an MVP candidate because CeeDee Lamb has been out most of the season. He's been having to throw it to George Pickens, and they've established a running game with Javonte Williams a little bit. That's been good to see, but for the most part, it's been Dak. Like this offense is really, really good. And they have to score points, man, because their defense is fucking trash.
I wonder what they expected to happen when they got rid of Micah.
No, what do you mean, dude? No, Micah was the problem. That's what Jerry kept saying. Micah was the problem.
Interesting. Okay.
And then on the flip side, the Broncos, you could argue they've got the best defense in the league. Nick Bonito is an absolute stud. Obviously, Patrick Surtain. Maybe the best corner in all of football. They're Bo Nix. I'm not a fan of Bo Nix, but he plays within that Sean Payton system, and he's very efficient at it. I'm just not. I'm still not a Bo Nix guy. He's doing what they ask him to do, and that's about as much as I'll say. It just Cortland Sutton. He's had a really good year so far. Troy Franklin, wide receiver out of Oregon, he's been playing well for them. Marvin Mims Jr., really good. Yeah. Evan Ingram has had kind of an emergence lately. I mean, dog, they've got Hufanga. They've got Surtain. They've got Jade Barron, a rookie who I was very, very high on. Dre Greenlaw. Like I said, Nick Bonito. Dog, he's got 8 sacks, man, 7 tackles for loss. Like, their defense is legit. It might be the best in the league. So I think I like the Broncos at home, man. I think I like the Broncos at home.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think with Bo Nix, as you said, like, we may not like him that much as a player, like a quarterback, but I mean, at the end of the day, football just boils down to, hey, everybody just do your job. As long as you do your job, you win games, and it's proven it. Like, hey, don't put the ball in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, work within the confines. Don't be a hero.
Yep.
And I mean, 5-2. What more can you expect?
Exactly, man. And a guy that I think hasn't gotten the MVP love that maybe he probably deserves if you thought that Saquon deserved MVP last year, then you should be pounding the table for Jonathan Taylor this year. Jonathan Taylor has had a real bounce back year. A lot of people thought he might be done, but dog, all Jonathan Taylor has done is rush for over 700 yards and 10 touchdowns. And obviously the story, people are going to talk about Daniel Jones for the 6-1 Colts, but it's Jonathan Taylor. This offense runs through Jonathan Taylor.
And has for a couple of years.
Yep.
Actually, more.
They play the 1-6 Tennessee Titans, and I don't think we really need to go into much depth on this one, dog. Like the Titans are bad. The Titans are very bad. Cam Ward has shown flashes, but they just have nothing around him.
I want to say out of the schedule for right now, I really think that Tennessee, this might be a game Tennessee sneaks in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, then I think Daniel Jones might. I think he will, like everybody, just have an off day.
Yeah.
Honestly. So I feel like if this might be the most reasonable upset for the week, but at the same time, until further notice, like the Colts are one of the best teams to beat right now.
Yeah.
To me, they earn my respect. They're like, okay, y'all are a true team. Even in the loss, it was like a really good game. So I can't be mad.
Yeah. That's all we're really going to talk about that game. Like that, I've got the Colts winning pretty comfortably. Titans are dog shit. Titans are dog shit. The Aaron Rodgers game, Shamar, Sunday Night Football, Packers at the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Look, man, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, this Packers defense hasn't maybe played up to their expectations, although they have been playing better as of late with Micah Parsons. What are your thoughts on this game, Shamar?
I feel like this is a must-win game for both teams, honestly. I feel like for the Steelers, and they want to prove that this isn't a fluke or this Mike Tomlin and they're like a real playoff contender, not just making it to the playoff, but actually playoff contender. They have to beat the Packers. And then the Packers, and they're like weird decline somewhat from like the very first 2 weeks. They have to prove why they first earned that hype. But now it's like you have to go out and you have to earn that respect week in and week out. And if you lose to the if you lose to the Steelers this week, then there are going to be a lot of questions that I don't think you want to answer. So you have to go in and you have to win the game. So I feel like it's literally a must-win. Like, even without the history between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, I feel like I'll put in the same boat that both teams need to win this game in order to prove why they have earned the hype that they have.
Look, man, one of the things I think gets lost with this Packers team, obviously people talk about Jordan Love. He's had turnover problems throughout his career. He hasn't turned the ball over this year that much, only his 2 interceptions. But Josh Jacobs, man, and their emergence of a run game. Josh Jacobs is a stud. No one really talks about him. And look, dog, I always say it. If you're going to go win on the road, you got to take your run game and you got to take a great defense. So I think I like the Packers to win this game, man. The Steelers defense hasn't been playing that well all year. TJ Watt hasn't done a whole lot. Obviously, teams they focus on TJ Watt. They double team. They sometimes even triple team him. It's just, Yeah,
I think I had the Packers as well winning the game. Just because I said like the Pittsburgh defense is not what it used to be.
No,
or like historically. So I just feel like that will be the weakest link, and I feel like the Packers have to exploit it. Because I feel like if it's a defensive game, in the Packers win, I still have a lot of questions for Jordan Love and our offense. Like, what are y'all doing?
I agree. All right, now we've got Monday Night Football. The Washington Commanders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Jaden Daniels is out. He's been ruled out for this game. I mean, look, man, going on the road to Kansas City without your starting quarterback, that's tough. That's really tough, man. What are your thoughts, Shamar?
Kansas City wins, goes home.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is quietly, obviously the Chiefs are 4-3 now, but they started out 0-2. They didn't start out very good. He's thrown 14 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions with 1,800 yards passing. He's also in the mix for MVP. It's Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. He should always be in the mix, but he's been playing really, really good ball, man. And now they finally got Rashee Rice back. Xavier Worthy is back healthy. Obviously, Travis Kelce is still, he's still Kelce, even though he might have, declined a little bit. It's just the Chiefs. They look to be at full strength now. So yeah, I've got the Chiefs winning this game. It's hard to go on the road and win without your backup quarterback.
Yeah, especially at Arrowhead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it for us. If you've been with us this whole time, we very much appreciate you. Shamar, thank you so much for joining us. If you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on all of our social medias on TikTok, YouTube, obviously, Facebook, Instagram, all of the socials at Trash Talk Tailgate. We release content every single day. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Shamar, once again, thank you so much. We'd love to have you back. Just let us know. Yeah. And enjoy your NFL Sunday, everyone. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Big Dog. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Very much appreciate you. Yep. But we got to get out of here, y'all. So have a good one.